guys, Pratibha here from Rasoi Saga. Today I'm showing you how to bake a sugar-free, gluten-free tea cake. This is an absolutely amazing recipe. The best part about this recipe is that it is very simple and quick, and I bake this often at home for my father. And super excited for it. So let's get baking already. I mean, why wait to bake a delicious cake, right? So let's go. So the first thing we'll be requiring for this recipe is 3 eggs. Okay. So in a small baking bowl, you don't require a huge baking bowl for this. So in a small baking bowl, I'm breaking in 3 eggs. So now the standard rule for any baking recipe, not just this, is that all your ingredients should be at room temperature. That decides the texture of your final bake. Okay, so all these 3 eggs are at room temperature right now. And so just keep the eggs out of the fridge before you are baking, so that they come at room temperature and you can get a good texture of your bake. So I have taken 3 eggs, and now to this I'll be adding 50 grams of melted butter. Okay, so this is some this is regular salted butter that I have taken, and I'm adding in 50 grams of salted Amul butter to this. I'll be adding to that, I'm adding 1.5 tablespoon of stevia powder. Okay, so stevia powder is nothing but a 0-calorie sweetener. It is for the people who are diabetic, and even though we have a lot of healthy sweeteners in the market, such as organic jaggery powder, then we have coconut sugar and brown sugar, still they have a lot of GI in them, which is obviously white sugar has the highest amount, which is not good for people in general. So that's why we are using stevia powder, which is a plant-based sweetener. And now we'll be whisking all of this together really nicely. You have to whisk all this, make sure it is combined really well. So this is your liquid ingredient: eggs, butter and stevia powder. Okay, so now we'll be adding vanilla essence to this. So in this bottle I've measured like half teaspoon. Okay, so half teaspoon vanilla essence, and whisk everything together. See, it is coming together really nicely. So whisk everything really well. This is a balloon whisk that I'm using, easily available. If you don't have that, you can use a spoon, but make sure you do this process really well for a good texture of your final cake. All right, so this is done. Okay, this is done. And now to this I'll be adding in almond flour. Okay, so almond flour is nothing but your regular almonds grinded in the mixer. Okay, so here I have taken 70 grams of almond flour. Okay, so take 70 grams almond in a mixer and grind them to a fine powder like this, to a fine powder. Make sure you don't grind it too much, otherwise it will become a paste. So make sure you do it in bursts of 10 seconds. Here I am adding it in. So since this is a gluten-free cake, we won't use any wheat flour or maida or ragi or any other flour which has gluten in it. We are using gluten-free flour here, and here we are taking almond flour. Okay, and now to that we'll be adding in baking powder. In this recipe we are adding in 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. So we have added in baking powder and almond flour, which are your dry ingredients. So in any baking recipe you will see there are 2 types of ingredients, which is your liquid ingredients and your dry ingredients. So here my dry ingredients are almond flour and baking powder. Okay, so now again I am whisking all of this. Okay, so now you will see that the mixture will get slightly dry, not very dry. So now we will be adding in 2 tablespoons of water here. Okay, we are adding water just to make the mixture a little bit more airy and little bit more smooth. You can use oil here, but obviously since you're doing a healthy bake and you want to make the cake as healthy as possible, do not use oil. I would recommend you to use water because it's better. So yeah, so here we are, it's looking good. So we have the water and the almond flour and the butter and the eggs. So many people ask me eggless recipes and everything, but this can't be done eggless because the entire structure depends on the eggs. So yeah, everything is mixed well. Guys, see the consistency. See the consistency of the batter. It's watery and it's of pourable consistency. Okay, so just for the texture of the bake, I'll be adding in cranberries. So I have chopped some beautiful and dried cranberries here. So I'll just be adding that to the bowl. So this is completely optional. You can skip the cranberries. You can actually add sliced almonds also. You can also add walnuts if you like. I'm using cranberries because I like the texture and the flavor of it in this bake. Okay, so everything is combined well. I'm whisking it again and again because I just want everything to be combined really well before I pour it in the tin. Right? Alright, so it looks good to me. Pourable consistency, and I have added all of the ingredients, measured them, added them. Ready, and now I'll be pouring it in this tin which I have lined with parchment paper. This is a small loaf tin that I have lined with parchment paper. Never ever use it without the parchment paper, otherwise your bake will stick to the tin and that's not good. So I am pouring the batter inside this. Look at that. It's completely liquid. That's what you want. That is exactly what you're looking for. So this cake comes out really fluffy and spongy. I'll show you guys in a while. Okay, so I have made repeat orders for these for my customers also. They love it, the people who are diabetic and not diabetic also. I also really like the cake. You will get a very spongy texture once it is nicely baked. Okay, so the batter is ready, the tin is ready, everything is done, and I'm going to be baking this in a microwave oven, in a preheated microwave oven at 180 degrees for 35 minutes. Okay, so make sure you preheat, that is very important. Do not miss that step. Bake it for 35 minutes and let's see what happens. It's baked and ready, and here it is. It's been 35 minutes and here is the final cake. There you go, this is the final cake. So it will crack on top. That is actually the sign of a good cake, that it cracks on top. Teeny tiny cake that we have here. Yeah, so the structure is very stable. The structure is very soft and stable, and here I'm using a cooling rack to just cool it down before slicing and consuming it for the day. So yeah, so this is about it. This is my sugar-free, gluten-free tea cake recipe. It will stay good for 4 to 5 days. You can keep it outside, no need to keep it in the fridge. And make sure you enjoy it with your family and share the recipe with anyone who would like to go healthy and have some delicious cake at home.